back to the economic refugees. We've been in quarantine. I'm sure a lot of you have too. And well, it's getting that time of year to start getting ready. Looks like we're going to be able to hit the road maybe next week. So today is that fun day that I do every year.
Maintenance.
Yeah, we've been working on the motorhome, but now we're going to get hardcore into the maintenance. So let me show you what we got going on here. Here we are. Look at that toilet paper, man. We got lots of it now. It's like investing in gold. Anyway, here we go. Here's all our stuff. So I actually ordered a filter off of Amazon, and it was supposed to take like a week to get here. Well, 2.5 weeks into it, I went over yesterday to Mack Trucks and bought one, and bought oil. Got 7 gallons of oil here. And then guess what? Yesterday afternoon, the other filter came in. So now I got a spare. I'll keep it because I always have a spare. This is the oil filter for my generator. So we're going to service that too. And we've got to do some lubrication on the chassis and drive line and all that kind of stuff. So I got some of this Lucas extra heavy duty grease. Got a couple of tubes of that. And then when we roll out of here, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before. Because of the age of our motorhome, the fuel is just way too dry. So I buy this really cheap $3.29 a quart transmission fluid at Walmart, and I put about a quart every 50 gallons of fuel in my tank. And the other day I had an injector kind of misfiring, and this helps with that too. It helps clean the injectors and lubricates, puts a lubrication in the fuel, helps everything run better. So I got a couple of those because we are going to be taking a trip here sometime next week. So anyway, now we got to get started. First thing is, everything is all aired up, it's raised up, so now I can get underneath there and begin the process of changing the oil. So hang on a sec. There is the oil filter. So it's in a real convenient spot. It's kind of tight to get to. So there's the tool on it. All right. Now, it just grabs a hold of it real easy. It's just such a sweet tool to use. So there it is. It's loose. I'm going to go ahead and take it down. Here it comes. Okay, oil's dripping, so that's what I wanted it to do. Let me let it rain here for a few minutes. There it is. Okay, so we got the filter. And we got a gallon of oil. And here's kind of a tricky part, but what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with oil. And once we fill it with oil, we can't lay it down like that anymore. But if you don't fill this with oil, you kind of start out with a dry startup, and we don't like that. It's part of the reason why I ran it was to get things lubricated. Some people like to let stuff run for a long time, to let it warm up so the oil comes out faster. I've done that before when I was in a hurry, but if you're not in a hurry, I prefer to just let it be cold, and that way I'm not dealing with a hot engine. That used to be a hard thing at the motorcycle shop, was these guys would come off the road with hot bikes and want me to work on them. Not fun. It takes almost a gallon of oil, pretty close to it. Not quite, but close. Okay, and then you always, like automotive or anything else, you always want to get this seal nice and oiled up. Okay, now the hard part is getting this big heavy oil filter under there. Boy, this is heavy for me, believe it or not. Yeah. And normally you don't do this, but I'm going to. Put a little bit of a wrench on it so that it's tight. Didn't even scratch it. Okay. Now, this has got to come out again. And we're going to drain this off. And after you give us enough to be able to drain the oil out of the crank. I don't know if I can do anything yet. Find a good place to pour this oil off into here, and then I'll start draining the engine itself. Like I say, the engine holds 6 gallons, and this little holder right here holds about 5.5. At least I got a little out of there so far. Okay, here we go, under again. There we go, all the way under. So what I have is I have this little valve. And this way I could turn the oil spigot on and off. And now it's just going to sit here and it's going to drain for a while. So it's break time. Shut the valve off down there. What you guys missed is, and it's because of two things. One is it's really hard. I can't hold the camera and photograph what I did. I went under and I lubed the drive shaft. So the drive shaft's all lubed. And then I went underneath and I lubed the S-cam and the braking system, and I had to release the parking brake, and we're just on a slight little slope going forward, and what makes it really uncomfortable is listening to the suspension going kunk 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 as I'm underneath there adjusting the brakes. So that's all adjusted. Now I just got to fill it with oil, and then I'm going to go up front. I'm going to lubricate the front end, and then probably service the generator. That's pretty easy. At this point, we're pretty much done. The worst part is underneath. I hate crawling underneath. I hate adjusting those brakes. Usually what we do is when we're driving down the road somewhere, and I see a great big flat parking lot, I'll pull in there and I'll lift it up as high as I can get it, and so I know it won't roll, and then I get underneath there and I adjust those all up. When I get done doing this, I'm gonna get underneath there. I'm gonna wash this thing down. It's got a lot of road grime, and you know, these old diesels, when they get to a certain point, they weep a little here and a little there. I mean, I don't get drops on the ground, but I get moisture around the pan and different places. So just kind of go in there, and I mean, it's never been washed. that's closed off. Now we need just a little bit of this good stuff. And just pour it in slowly. I love those valves. That one I have on the big motor, that works awesome. This one works good. This one was in there when we bought it. Factory item. Hold it now. Don't squeeze it. Just hold it. Me? So if you're going to do this job, and this is not a paid recommendation, but this stuff right here, good thing. My arms were black. And this stuff, it's not like using something that's abrasive or something. It just takes it right off. It just really works good. So there's what you want. Okay. Well, as you can probably see, I look wonderful. Got all done with the oil change and the servicing and all that good stuff, and was a greasy, slimy mess. And then the stairs, I just changed the carpets. I have new carpets. In fact, I'm going to change the carpets inside probably tomorrow now. But I changed the carpets on the steps, and it was making a really weird noise. And so we were opening and closing and opening and closing and opening. I finally figured out what it was. It's the trim. Let me see if I can show it to you. So it was this trim here that was causing the noise. So, but by that time the stairs quit working. So I checked it out and it was the motor. So I pulled it all apart, pulled the motor out, and we had just replaced the motor less than a year ago. And man, I tried doing it with it completely disconnected and it wouldn't work. So, of course, we checked with Amazon, and right now, the problem with Amazon is anything you order is taking, unless it comes from Amazon themselves, I mean, where they deliver it, or UPS. If you get the postal service, man, you're stuck. It takes sometimes up to 2 weeks or so. I had Darla call Camping World in Ganders, which is near us, and Ganders had it. Of course, it's $180, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to check it one more time. And I took it and I plugged it in and it started working. So apparently there's some protection on this electric motor, and that's goofy. Cages, whoa, going for a wagon ride. So I got it all back together and it's working great. I did a little power spraying on this thing, and then my rear charger, my charger for my truck batteries quit working, and there's a GFI in there, which I couldn't see, but I finally found it, and I got that reset. So everything that I did is fixed. Everything I did as far as servicing came out great, and then everything that I screwed up I refixed. So I think we're good. Like I said, we're getting ready to we're gonna do 1,500 miles. We're gonna be on the road for a while, and I just wanted to make sure everything was serviced. Once again, of course, if you're dealing with RV places and stuff, I mean, they mean well, but they would have checked that motor, and if the motor was good, they'd still sell me a new one. So anyway, we got it fixed. Everything looks good. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody that's been sick is getting well. I know I feel for you because I went through it, man, and I'm still having pains and different things. I mean, it's not as bad as it was, but it can still be uncomfortable, and I don't wish it on anybody. And hopefully, you know, I've been going out and around here where we're at, man. We've never really been locked down, so we could come and go, but we pretty much just stayed in because we didn't want to, you know, give anything to anybody or get anything. We didn't know whether we were givers or getters at that point. So, but now everything's better, and we're looking forward to rolling next week, and I think everything will be great. So thank you folks for watching. If you're not subscribed, I watch our things, there's a lot of people that watch us, but if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell so that you get you know, notified when we have things. And you know, we have our little talkathons where we do live streams, and check one of those out sometime. It gets to be pretty fun. There's a lot of people that have been with us since the very beginning, and they're on there all the time, and it'd be great to have more of you come in and watch us. So hey, thanks a lot for watching. We'll talk to you soon.